Hello everyone and welcome to the Mod Spotlight, where I like to shine a spotlight on all my favourite mods. And today we're looking at a mod for Crusader Kings 3, Shogunate. Shogunate is a full conversion mod for Crusader Kings 3. Shogunate takes place in Japan during the period known as Sengoku Jidai, which roughly translates as the Age of the Warring States. It is a period of Japanese history which is perhaps the most famous period of Japanese history. It was a time of massive internal strife. It was essentially a century and a half long civil war that turned into a mass free-for-all with various different clans all vying for power, all trying to become the new shogun, which is a title which essentially makes you the military dictator of all Japan. This period of history was around the 16th century, and so that usually falls under the purview of Europa Universalis 4, and Sengoku Jidai is represented in EU4. But I have tried a couple times and I've never really had that great a playthrough as a Japanese state in EU4, and this mod for Crusader Kings 3 is just so much better at representing this period. The fact is, this period in Japanese history is still very much a feudal period. It is prominent noble families vying for control. There is plenty of alliances and marriages and backstabbing and betrayals, and this just lends itself far more to the gameplay mechanics of Crusader Kings rather than those of Europa Universalis. So one of the most impressive things is the map. It is so incredibly detailed. Whereas the base game Crusader Kings map spans all of Europe, this mod is just Japan, and so the level of detail is fantastic. I will point out here as well the huge number of different start dates. The base game of Crusader Kings 3 has only got 2 different start dates rather than just letting you choose any date you want, which is a weakness in my mind of the base game of CK3, and this mod does not have that problem. It has a variety of start dates, with the histories and the situations of these clans evolving as you go through these different start dates. I can't help but be impressed when mods clearly have this level of work and detail that goes into it. I find that so impressive, and I really love that about this Shogunate mod. The Shogunate mod does have some limitations to it, however, and not being an expert on these things myself, I don't know how they're going to go about changing these in future, if they're going to develop it further, but the fact is both the character avatars and the unit models have not been able to be changed to fit the aesthetic. Now don't get me wrong, they've done a great job of doing what they can with what they have, but essentially your character avatars and your unit models as you go into battle are essentially just taken from the Mongolian factions in the base game of Crusader Kings 3. The armour on your avatars does not look like samurai armour, and the unit models on the map are clearly just the Mongolian models used in the base game. As I've said, I don't know how they would go about updating that, but if they could, then that would be frankly amazing. In my playthrough, I was playing as one of the great unifiers of Japan, Oda Nobunaga, and I was attempting to solidify control over the centre of Japan just as the real Oda clan did. One thing I would like a bit more in terms of this mod is the hype around controlling the capital. As Oda Nobunaga took the capital at Kyoto in real life, he used that to solidify his position as the new shogun. Now of course this doesn't mean all the other clans just put away their swords and bent the knee. He still had to fight a lot of people, and in the end he did end up dying doing it. So I'm not suggesting it should be game over once you take Kyoto. I just would have liked some more pomp and circumstance around the idea of controlling Kyoto. I even struggled to find it on the map. So do I recommend this mod? Well, I think there's still some work needed to make it top tier level, to make it amazing. I would love it if I could see those character models updated to fit the aesthetic of a real feudal Japan. Also, the use of music is a bit jarring at times. The mod, like the base game, tries to use dynamic music, for example with the music becoming more intense when a war starts. However, the best dynamic music happens when you barely realise it happening. It should flow naturally. In Shogunate, it's just very obviously start-stop with the new music, and it's a bit jarring. However, if these two issues were fixed, I would call Shogunate a phenomenal mod, so even with them there, it's still excellent. If you loved Shogun 2 Total War but you wish it was more complex and went into far more detail in terms of family dynamics and alliances and intermarriages, well then, here's your solution. If Japanese history or the idea of the samurai is something that intrigues you and you like Crusader Kings 3, well, I'd definitely say give Shogunate a try. Anyway guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you have any mods that you want to recommend me play in future, please get them in the comments below. But on that note, I've been Stratton and I'll see you next time.